So, welcome to this new session of the lunch seminar on the Japanese economy and society. My name is Sébastien LECHEVALIER, and I will be the moderator. I'm very pleased to be the moderator for this session. Today, we are honored to welcome Professor Sayaka SAKODA, Associate Professor at Doshisha University in Kyoto. And when we discuss first with Professor SAKODA about the topic that could be presented, Professor SAKODA mentions her forthcoming book on infidelity. So I was wondering if our friends and colleagues would be interested in the topic of infidelity, and I'm very pleased to confirm, given the very large audience today, that apparently there is a strong interest on infidelity. So we will, of course, hear Professor SAKODA. You may ask yourself, what do economists have to say about infidelity? And I'm sure you will be convinced by the methodology and the result, and I'm sure we will learn something new about Japanese society, Japanese couples, families. Professor SAKODA is an economist, labor. You were trained, Professor SAKODA, as a labor economist, but you have also worked on issues related to gender and happiness studies. You wrote several articles and books, especially with Professor Tachibanaki, who has been your mentor. And today's presentation, again, will be based on your forthcoming book in next year, in January next year. And what we really appreciate in your work, you identify a very interesting question, but you also adopt economic perspective. So you will look at micro calculation of individual, what are the benefits and the potential cost of infidelity. But at the same time, you have a really broad view on this social phenomena. You have also some insight from other social sciences, and I'm sure we will learn a lot from your presentation. And Professor SAKODA, I would like now to give you the floor for your presentation. We are very much looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
So first of all, I'd like to thank you to invite me to the seminar organized by Maison Franco-Japonais. So it's my great pleasure to talk about my research on infidelity. Thank you for introducing Professor LeChevalier. So Professor LeChevalier told that, so with my colleague, with my co-author, we will publish a book about the infidelity in Japan. The title is the tentative title. The title of the book is "Infidelity: A Social Science Perspective." So today I'd like to share the result of our book. So I hope all of you enjoy our result. And as Professor LeChevalier told that, please ask freely while I'm talking. I'm presenting the slide. Okay, let me introduce myself. So my specialty is labor economics, and especially income distribution. However, during my PhD days with my ex-supervisor, Toshiaki Tachibanaki, we wrote two books. One book is titled is Fufu Kakusa Shakai, Unequal Society in Married Couples. So this book see how family structure widens and economic disparity in Japan, and we shift the since the marriage leads also the divorce, so we also see the economics of divorce. So we published the 離婚の経済学 Economics of Divorce, the Logic of Love and Separation, 2 years ago. And then, so the final early book of the kind of the series of marriage regarding marriage. So the coming book is Infidelity. So this book is co-write with Akira Igarashi. He has belonged to Osaka University, and we will publish this book from Chuko Shinjo in 2023 in January. Here's a table of contents of today's talking. One is why doing research on fidelity. And second is what is already known and what we done. And third is really the core of the talking, so what we found. So we will talk about how infidelity is common and who does, and third one is with whom, and we will see also why do they do infidelity. And last, what we focus on what we focus on and in the rest of our book. So I'd like to talk, show my acknowledgement. Since this research is supported by Murata Science Foundation, so I'd like to thanks to the Murata Science Foundation to support our research. So I'd like to shift the why doing research on infidelity. While we are doing research on infidelity, some people consider it's a joke, or some people may frightened or very surprised since we are doing research on infidelity. But studies on infidelity has been conducted in the field of economics. Especially econometrics historically. So among economists, there is well-known econometrics models, Tobit model. So it is a regression model that observes the range of dependent variables is censored in some way. So the first applied model for the first applied model is infidelity data by Ray Fair, and his work is named as a theory of extramarital affairs. However, while there's such a great research by Ray Fair, however, so there are so many columns based on only experience. So as you can see, it is light here. So some of you already see some research, some kind of research or some columns based on research experiments, and why people do infidelity, or the feature of the people doing infidelity. However, studying infidelity may deepen the understanding of the Japanese structure or Japanese family structure or Japanese couples. We thought, since some of you may know that out of wedlock, the child born between the couples, not unmarried couples, so these children is named out of wedlock. So the 39% is out of wedlock in OECD countries. However, in Japan, only 1.9% is out of wedlock child. So that's why we started the research on infidelity. However, However, besides the fair or other some high quality research, the number points about infidelity is not found. Why? Before shifting talking about infidelity, I'd like to talk about how economic theory treat infidelity. So here you can see the 3 points. One is such cost, and second is information asymmetry, and third one is uncertainty. So here's the 3 points of how economics treating infidelity. So I'd like to introduce the first one is such cost. So all of us married the most suitable partner they have met. However, when we meet someone more desirable than our current partner, so the possibility of infidelity has occurred. So here's a hypothesis. So is infidelity intended to seek a second marriage partner and intended to switch to the mistress or mantress? And second one is information asymmetrics. So surprisingly or unsurprisingly, after marriage, we tend to find a new aspect of the spouse, which couldn't see it before the marriage. So we sometimes surprise, we sometimes regret. However, these new findings may lead the unsatisfaction or satisfaction with the spouse, and as a result, we may consider the divorce. We may consider the finding the mistress or mantress. So second one is information asymmetrics, and third one is uncertainty. So let me read the quote, since the uncertainty of economics is a little bit difficult to understand. So the life is a journey, and the road we travel has twists and turns, which sometimes lead us unexpected places and unexpected people. So during the long of life, so unfortunately the husband loses his job, or the changes in appearance of myself or the spouses, it may lose the love. Then if the possibility infidelity has occurred. So here is how economic theory treat infidelity. However, the Japanese tendency also changing, since the such cost of the finding spouse. Japanese tendency has a little bit changed in these days. So the duration of dating is longer and later marriage. So the duration of dating is longer and longer, and we marry later and later. The average of the first marriage exceeds 30 in these days, and it means that such cost of finding a spouse is increasing. And also, at least the cost of divorce is costly, and especially for well-educated and high-income earners, since they have to pay more and more, and they have to pay and compensate more and more, especially for educated or especially for high-income earners. And also there are two changing surroundings. One is internet, the appearance of internet and dating apps. So the appearance of internet and appearance of using the dating app may change the our behaviors to meet more boyfriend, girlfriend, and the marriage partners. And the second one is, I'd like to shed a light at increasing women's labor participations. Since women with high education or high income may behave same as men regarding inferiority. So that's why I would like to do a social survey and doing research on infidelity. And we again, through the research on infidelity, we may understand Japanese families, Japanese society. So before disclosing our result, I'd like to share what is already known and what we done. So here is the future high quality academic studies regarding inferiority. One is FAIR, as I told you, it was first applied example of econometric models on FAIR in 1978. So he searched the determinants of infidelity. So according to FAIR, so religious belief and marital satisfaction determines the possibility of infidelity. And Munst found 2 points. One is when a husband income is high, and second point is when wife's income exceeds husband income, so the possibility of infidelity is rising. So based on this great research, great literature, however, in Japan, there are so many research regarding infidelity. However, so most of, unfortunately, most of research is mixing cheating, mixing the unmarried couples, and mixing its scope. I'd like to talk about this really, what is different. One is mixing cheating. So the Saito and Genda 2007, how cheat occurs, not infidelity. What is different cheat and infidelity is cheat in Japanese, it is called uwaki. Uwaki is different from infidelity. Uwaki is just having a date. Uwaki depends on the people's definition. So some people think having a date, having a dinner with someone other than spouse, also the cheating. However, what we treat the infidelity is sexual cause. So not we don't include cheating. And Saito and Genda also including unmarried couples. I mean the couples before the marriage. So they are koibito, they are couples, just couples. And so we'd like to see, we'd like to strict the definition of infidelity. We also shed a light at the married couple and only infidelity. So sexual intercourse only. However, in 2018, so my co-author Igarashi-san using the Saito and Genda's data and found that loveless or love between couples in marriage life is not related to the incidence of infidelity. So I told you that not a huge research, so many research, academic research on infidelity. However, so many social survey on infidelity has done by a magazine or publishers. One of Ishikawa et al. 日本人のせい revealed that 20.82% of married men and 3.79% of married women committed infidelity in 1982. And President magazine, some of you may read this one, and also revealed that 34.6% of married men and 6% of married women did. And Sagami Rubber Industry 2013 revealed to 24.8% married women and 14% of married women did. So we can say that around 20 or 35% of men and 14 of women committed infidelity in Japan. What is unknown is how frequently has infidelity occurred. So as I told you, some researches included cheating, uwaki, and expanding the range a married couple. So not limited to and not limited to sexual intercourse. So we as I told you earlier, we strict the shall at infidelity. I mean among married couples, and do whether they commit sexual intercourse. And second is who commits infidelity. So we and literature already revealed who commits. However, we don't know with whom. So so when the people whose spouse committed infidelity may interested who is the mistress or mantress. So the mistress or mantress straighten your status as a spouse. So once his or her spouse notice his infidelity or her infidelity, it may lead divorce or lawsuit or etc. 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 So many difficult, complicated things. But why do they commit infidelity? So we'd like to shed a light at who does the infidelity with whom and why do they? So in order to reveal and in order to answer our questions, we did a survey thanks to the NTT.com online. They have registered monitors, and we asked them to answer our questionnaire. However, we adjusted to the proportion of married people in Japan, so as a whole by sex and age and place of residence, in order to match, in order to say our data is representative of Japanese cases. And we conducted survey in March 2020. So here after this survey, we will call a general survey. So as I told you, I'd like to talk about 4 points. One is how infidelity is common. And second is who. And third one is with whom. And fourth, why. So what we found? How infidelity is common. So we asked the registered monitored have you ever had sexual intercourse with anyone other than your spouse after you get to married? So surprisingly, the half of married male, and 16, almost about 16 married female ever had the infidelity. However, even if the registered the monitor as anonymous survey, however, some respondents may pretend they have never had infidelity because if they confess to infidelity, it will lead something negative consequence. So some people pretend and lie to even our survey is anonymous survey. So in order to, this bias is called a social disability bias, 社会的望ましさ bias, and social disability bias will be exist. So we also had a survey to remove this social disability bias and to adjust the bias. And we revealed that the 41% of men and 24% of women ever had infidelity in their past. So this result is consistent with our previous general survey, and it means that even the questionnaire, so they will tell us honestly about their experience of infidelity. So we are afraid before doing the list experiments, we are afraid the people considering social disability bias and pretend however, there's no bias regarding the infidelity. Our interest shifted this ratio is higher or lower compared to other countries. So we did see the other literature and did international comparison. So the UK and Germany has the same tendency, and roughly is similar. 20% of men and 50% of women ever having infidelity. And so I have to say the case of France, surprisingly, 55% of men and 32% of women did infidelity. And in China, did the huge social survey in 2000, sorry, and 20.9% of married men and 4.7% married women had infidelity and in 2015, or about the 1/3 of married men and 11.4% married women ever had infidelity. However, we noticed that, so there's a common tendency. Male tend to have more infidelity than female. So far it's fine. I noticed that there's so many messages has changed, but so far it's fine, I think. So let me shift to the next slide. Yep. So we noticed that why the male tend to commit infidelity than female. So regarding the sociology perspectives, there's two theories. One is evolutionary psychology, and second, the other one is social system theory. So the evolutionary psychology try to explain why there is difference why there is difference is explained by sex. So it means that men commit infidelity increases the number of children, while women aim to improve the quality of child. However, the Munst 2020 claim that evolutionary psychology will be can't explain totally. So she claimed that social system theory, and she said that men traditionally have a more power to control marital relationship than women, and men are less at risk of divorce and tend to be more financially independent, and they are more likely to prefer sexual intercourse. So we'd like to also, the evolutionary psychology or social system theory can explain Japanese cases. So here we'd like to shift the who does infidelity. So there's a kind of the quote, great men have a great fondness for the sexual pleasures. However, so research on who does the infidelity is proposed by Trias Geniusen in 2000, and they propose 3 points to find who does infidelity. One is taste and values, and second is opportunity, and third one is primarily in relationship. So the first one, taste and values. So we have a personality and different personality. However, so our personality categorized into 5. So its methodology is called as a Big 5 personality. So we also, along with the Trias GSM, so we also use the Big 5 personality, and we will show it. Show it later. One is taste and values, and second one is opportunities. Opportunity can be divided to. One is occasion to encounter possible mistress or mantress. And second is cost to know each other. And third one is primary relationship. I mean, the primary relationship is between the couples, between the wife and husband. So the marital satisfaction and socioeconomic relationship between the married couples determines the possibility of infidelity. So along with these 3 points, we'd like to share our result. One is, so first of all, I'd like to talk about taste and values. So using Big 5 factors is, as I told you, we can categorize our personality into 5: openness, consciousness, and extraversion, and agreeableness, and neuroticism. And of the Big 5 factors, so which measures personality, and we found that high extraversion is associated with infidelity of men, while high agreeableness was associated with that of female. So our interest shift to the why women with high agreeableness tend to commit infidelity. So we see that the kind of causality. So among those who are doing infidelity, so those who with low agreeableness told that, so their relationship, regarding their relationship, so both of the both of the mistress and the partner started our relation, whereas those who high agreeableness were more likely to say, my mistress or my mattress started our relations. So my partner started our relation. So it means, so those who have the high agreeableness female can't deny the asking of infidelity. And second one is opportunities. I already said that this opportunity can be categorized two. One is occasion to encounter the possible miss or mattress. So we shed a light at the surroundings. So what we found that male, they are more sensitive to opportunities of infidelity in his workplace, and a more significant number of women raises the possibility of having infidelity. So when the men working the more and more females workplaces, so the possibility of the infidelity will rise. And as for the female, surprisingly, no relationship with her labor status. So whenever she is a full-time housewife or she is working, there's no relationship with her labor status and infidelity. But once she has enough time, she will do infidelity. So it's kind of it can be say it's same case as the cinema of bad Jew. And second one is cause to know each other. So similar to other literature, men with higher income are more likely to commit infidelity. So we can say that it's a kind of we can confirm that men with higher income are more likely to commit infidelity. However, this tendency can't be seen in women's case. But when he is engaged in high occupational prestige, he doesn't commit infidelity. So what we found is here, since this graph shows the difference of occupational prestige. So you can see the blue line and red line. A blue line shows a low occupational prestige and the possibility of committing infidelity, and red line shows the case of high occupational prestige. So that you can see the increasing the income leads the possibility of infidelity. As you can see the vertical lines, so it means the possibility of, vertical line shows the level of income. However, when the income raises, so the possibility of infidelity also lays. However, it depends on his occupation, the occupational prestige. So the results show that the men whose occupation is high occupational prestige may be concerned about their reputation and less likely to commit infidelity. So the last one, primary relationship one, so the emotional relationship. So we ask the respondents, how much do you satisfy with your spouse for the following 9 points. One is spouse's personality and economic affluence, occupation, appearance, education background, the ability of housework, childbearing, and understanding of my work, and common hobby, and sex. So our result reveal that female, as for the case of this female, less satisfaction with a spouse personality leads to infidelity, female infidelity, I mean. And as for the male, less satisfaction with the sex with spouse with leads the male infidelity.
Perfect.
So the second one is primary relationships too, which is the socioeconomic relationship and infidelity. So there's before explaining the result, I'd like to talk about the two theories. One is a theory of social exchange, and the other one is theories of identity. So the first one, theory of social exchange, is kind of to say a good-looking woman marries a wealthy man. So the relationship is formed through the exchange of various resources. So the good-looking woman gives her appearance to her wife, husband, and he received her appearance and give money to his wife. So his higher income establishes his authority over his wife, and he will inflate, relying on his authority over his wife. And the other one is theory of identity. So it means that when the husband recognizes himself as a household breadwinner, so it is consistent with his masculine identity. His masculine identity strength when his wife's income exceeds his income. So his lower income threatens his masculine identity too, and he would like to revive his masculine identity. So he engages behavior that can express his masculine. So it means, so that's why he commit infidelity. So along with two theory, we found that 2 points and differently men and women. And left one are the male cases and right one is female cases. So I'd like to talk about the men cases. And man is more likely to commit infidelity when his wife annual income is higher than his income. So it's along with the theory of identity. So maybe the men in Japan, especially in Japan, men's role as breadwinner of his household is more expressly expected of them. So compared to other literature, especially American example, so in Japan and in Japanese male sensitive to his identity as a breadwinner of his household. So in order to revive his identity, so he does infidelity. And as for the female, surprisingly no tendency to commit infidelity when her income is higher than husband's. So one of our hypothesis is denied. So we can say that the theories of social exchange is established. So she never established her sense of authority, even if she exceeds her husband's income. So we like to shift with form. So our interest is shifted. So we'd like to know when and where did you meet your mistress or mantress? Ask the respondent. We'll ask you about relationship with a person with whom you most recently had sex, sexual intercourse, other than your spouse. How did you know him or her? So you can see from the graph, and the most huge later is the internet and Apple, and around 20%. And however, the big difference can be seen between the case of the forced marriage spouse, according to the result of 2020 ISSB. However, what is different from the forced marriage market, men tend to meet her through his workplace alone, while women's way to meet mattress is varies. However, we can see that around 30% of the who commit infidelity meet mistress or mattress in their kind of the workplaces. We also asked the marital status of miss and mattress and the years, the age of the mistress and mattress. So from the marital status of mistress or mattress, from female side, mattress is the majority as married. So surprisingly 74% the mattress is married. However, the mistress is unmarried. 55% the female mistress is unmarried. So we also see the combinations. So both married couples, both married the infidelity couple is majority. So around 50% of the couple are married couple. In Japanese, double filling. And regarding the age, the average of men doing infidelity is 48, and as for the women is 44. And here is the average of the age difference and the min and max of the mistress and mattress, the time age difference. So we also asked what his jobs, what his or her occupation. So a male who does infidelity works as a regular employee, and his mistress works as regular employee. And the occupation of the female who does infidelity varies, and her mattress jobs also varies. So there can be seen the assortative mating, homogamy is there. So the assortative mating, homogamy can be seen the forced marriage, however different in remarriage. So we can say the kind of a twist. So the forced marriage is assortative mating and remarriage is different. However, the infidelity is assortative mating, homogamy can be seen. So it's kind of an appendix. It's a short minor interest. So we also the sex of the kind of not gender, however, sex of the mistress and mattress. So maybe they not every commit infidelity with different gender. So among men who have had unfair infidelity, among men, 1.114% have or had a male partner, and on the other hand, 2.86% of women have or ever had a female partner. So we'd like to shift why. So we asked the respondent, how much do you satisfy your spouse or and miss or mattress for the following points, the same as the spouse case. So male expressed that he is satisfied with his wife regarding her education and the ability of housework and her understanding of husband work, and he satisfied with his mistress regarding her appearance and sex. However, surprisingly, for the female, none of the points are better than mantras. So the female didn't evaluate better than mantras as for her husband. So she's satisfied with her mantras regarding personality, appearance, and common hobby and sex. We also asked, have you ever thought of divorce from the spouse? So of women, almost around 60% of those who with infidelity have considered divorce, while almost the same ratio of men have never considered divorce. So we can say that doing infidelity is a first step toward divorce. So our hypothesis is infidelity intended to seek a second marriage partner. So about 30% of infidelity couples end up because of no reason. Oh, I don't know the reason why. But we broke up. And they tend to end in 2 years. So and that background of the myth or mantras is not associated with the aim of divorce. So the mistress or mantras doesn't straighten your status as a spouse, and it means unlikely to switch mistress or mantras. Sorry, I did a little bit faster. And however, what we focus on in the rest of the book is here's the TOC. Our coming book is as following, and today's talkings are along with a book's TOC. Chapter 1 is introduction, and chapter 2 how infidelity is common, and chapter 3 full, and chapter 4 with form, and chapter 5 when does infidelity end, and chapter 6 why do people blame with false infidelity. So we saw why do people blame and false infidelities. So I'd like to share the abstracts of the chapter 6. Great men have a great fondness for the sensual pleasures or loveless among the couples. Married couples can't be helped. Spouses' infidelity can't be the excuse to be blamed. However, I hope all of you are looking forward to our book which will publish in January, in next January. Thank you.
Professor Sakoda, really thank you very much and congratulations for your extremely original and meaningful research. I think we learn a lot about, again, gender differences and society. And we are looking forward to reading your book. I conclude with this in thanking again very much Professor Sakoda for your generosity.
Me as well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.